Has this ever happened to you? Someone asks you a simple question like, "How was your weekend?" Or maybe you're in a meeting and someone says, "What's your opinion on remote work?" And suddenly, your mind goes blank. You know what you want to say, but the words don't come out. Or they come out awkwardly and with a lot of pausing and hesitating. If that sounds familiar, the issue might not be your vocabulary or your grammar. The issue may be something simple, like you're missing a 4-step framework to help you organize your ideas quickly so you can speak clearly and confidently. And that's what you'll get today. Welcome back to Jforrest English. Of course, I'm Jennifer. Now let's get started. Today you'll learn a simple 4-step framework to structure, organize, and expand on your ideas. And you can use this framework to answer any question you're asked. This framework is called PREP. Each letter stands for one step. P, point. R, reason. E, expand. P, point. Yes, point again. Let's review each step. P, point. This is your main idea or opinion. You start by answering the question directly. Reason. This is where you explain why you gave that answer. E, this is where you expand on your answer. You can do that by giving more information or details, or one of the easiest ways to expand is by giving an example. So you can also think of E as example. P, point again. This is your conclusion or summary. You return to your main idea to finish your answer by saying your point again. So P is point again. Remember, it's point, reason, expand, example, point again. Let's review this using a simple scenario. Someone asks you, "How was your weekend?" Do you find you only answer using one-word answers like good, fine, great? Natives do this too, because they also don't know what to say. PREP quickly and easily fixes this problem. Here's how you can answer this simple question using PREP. How was your weekend? Point. It was great. That's what you're comfortable doing right now. How about expand on that with the reason? Why was it great? I finally had some time to relax after a busy week. And now expand on that. So how did you relax? Provide more details. I watched a movie called Arthur the King. It's about a man and a stray dog who form a bond during a race. Now remember, you need that point again. So you need a summary, a conclusion. The best way to start this is just say, "So overall, it was a relaxing and enjoyable weekend." Just what I needed. You're saying the same thing again. This is a clear, concise, and well-organized answer that sounds a lot more fluent and interesting than simply saying, "It was good," or even worse, "good." And now the person talking to you can ask you follow-up questions so the conversation will naturally keep going. You can answer any additional questions using the same PREP method. It's the same structure every time, but of course your answer will be completely different. In the answer above, I expanded by providing details on how I relaxed. I relaxed by watching a movie. And then I gave some more details about the movie. Remember that you can think of E as example. Basically, I provided an example of how I relaxed. Let's review a completely different question you may be asked in a professional setting, or even during a job interview. The question is, do you like working in teams? Let's answer that using the PREP framework. P is point. Yes, I really enjoy working in teams. Let's keep going with our reason. I think collaboration helps bring out the best ideas. Now let's provide a specific example, and you can even begin using the words "for example." For example, last year my team was developing a new product. Everyone had different ideas, and by combining them, we created something truly unique. You're not done yet. You need the second P, point again. So overall, I find teamwork more creative than working alone. Notice how in the E step, I gave a real life situation. It helped explain the benefit of teamwork in a way that feels personal and authentic. Of course, you can keep expanding on this example or even provide more details to support why you enjoy working on a team. You can use the PrEP framework to provide a concise 20-second answer or a longer 2-minute answer. You would simply provide more examples or more points. A good rule of thumb is a maximum of 3 points in the E section. Let's say you just got back from a vacation in Greece and your friend says, "So, how was your vacation?" Let's provide a full answer using the PrEP framework, and we'll provide 3 points for the E section. So again, you start with point. It was awesome, even better than I expected. Don't stop there, provide the reason. I've heard great things about Greece and it definitely lived up to the hype. Now let's expand with 3 points. First, the food was unreal. I didn't have a single bad meal, fresh seafood, simple ingredients, and everything tasted better there. Second, the pace of life is way more relaxed. No one's rushing, and it honestly helped me relax and reset a bit. And third, the beaches were incredible, super quiet, crystal clear water, and not packed with tourists. You're not done yet. Remember, point again. So overall, our trip was amazing and I highly recommend Greece. Of course, you could provide more details about each point. PrEP gives you the flexibility to provide a clear, organized answer, and you can decide how short or how long that answer is. Another option with PrEP is to choose one topic, like the food, and expand by providing 3 points on that one topic. Let's try that now with our same Greece vacation example. Point: it was awesome, even better than I expected. Reason: one of the biggest highlights was the food. That alone made the whole trip worth it. So notice here, my reason introduces the topic of food, and now I'll provide 3 points. First, even the simplest meals were incredible. We'd sit down for lunch and have grilled fish, a few dips, and fresh bread, and it was better than most dinners I've had at home. Second, the ingredients were so fresh, like tomatoes that actually taste like tomatoes. Every salad was bursting with flavor, and I usually don't get that excited about vegetables. And third, eating out felt relaxed and unhurried. We'd order a few things to share, sit outside, and just take our time. It made the meals feel like part of the day, not just something to check off. Now, you're not done. Point again. So overall, our trip was amazing and I highly recommend Greece. Of course, you can use the PrEP framework in a more professional context, like in a job interview. So let's review a common question you may be asked. Tell me about a challenge you faced and how you handled it. Here's a strong PrEP style answer. Point: one major challenge I faced was managing a project with a very tight deadline. Reason: we only had 3 weeks, but multiple departments were involved and the scope kept changing. Expand. To solve this, I created a detailed roadmap, scheduled daily check-ins, and clearly assigned responsibilities. As a result, we delivered the project on time and the client was very satisfied. Now you're not done yet. Point again. So in the end, an alternative to overall. So in the end, dealing with this challenge helped me grow as a leader, and I feel more confident with my abilities to handle future challenges. Again, this is a relatively brief answer. You can keep providing more details to the expand section. Even in a job interview, I still recommend following the rule of 3 and limiting your points to 3 main points or examples. Now that you know what the prep framework is, it's time for you to practice. The only way you'll feel confident using the prep framework is by practicing the prep framework. You can practice by answering random questions. This is by far my favorite way to practice. Simply generate a random question, and your goal is to start talking immediately. You can do that easily by following the prep structure. It will be difficult at first, but that's the purpose of practice. The more you practice, the easier it will become. Go online and search Random Question Generator. Click the button to generate an endless supply of random questions. Then answer using prep. As a bonus tip, I highly recommend you record yourself answering these random questions. This is such a powerful way to get feedback on your answers. You can listen to yourself to notice where you paused and hesitated and think about why and how to solve that, or how many word fillers you used, and then you can develop a strategy to solve that. If you want to improve your speaking skills and gain confidence speaking, recording yourself is one of the best strategies. Prep is a powerful, flexible framework that helps you speak more fluently in English. Remember, it's point, reason, expand, and point again. Do you want me to keep helping you improve your English speaking skills? If you do, put let's go, put let's go in the comments. And of course, make sure you like this lesson, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. And you can watch this lesson right now.